Hello, my name is Jasmine Pearson, and I will be giving my brief video summary. First, I'm going to talk about how I typically deal with conflict. I've learned a lot dealing with conflict, basically through my marriage and my children. I've actually went through a lot of counseling myself, and not because I have a lot of conflicts, but just to learn how to deal with conflict itself, period. And I apply that in my life and as well as any conflict that I deal with. One of the things that stuck out when I deal with conflict is the word conflict resolution. I try to take each specific conflict individually and basically look at the person's perspective, each side, and listen. I think when a conflict is occurring, people just want to be heard, have the opportunity to have open communication, and a lot of times when a conflict is occurring, sometimes the side that each person is going through, they just get things out, and not a lot is really going on during that situation as far as listening. So we just want to take some time, listen to each side, understand each perspective, and know that sometimes each situation is not always going to be resolved. So what we should try to do is find basically the best solution and try to accomplish the best results during that conflict. So that's really how I try to handle each situation as far as how I typically deal with conflict now in my life. An example of a time that I've tried to accomplish something when I've failed, and then what I've learned from that experience. I've had quite a bit of failures in my life, but one specifically that constantly sticks out to me, and what I've learned from that experience is the constant times that I've tried to apply myself as far as going to school and gaining my degree. I have failed multiple times when I was in the Navy, and I've been pushed constantly from my coworkers, my leadership, my parents. I've had ample opportunity during the 8 years that I was in the Navy to finish my degree, and I did start multiple times. I would take a class here and there, and I would make so many excuses. I would say that I couldn't because I was switching a command. I would say that I couldn't because I didn't want to start a college and then be unable to transfer those credits. And then I would also say that it was just the schedule in the Navy because of different schedule shifts. I would say that that was also an issue. And at the time that I was in the Navy, at least in the early years, I really wasn't that involved. I was more focused on doing my job, and pretty much that was it. Later on, in the end, when I actually had a family, I think I was starting to recognize and realize the importance of having a degree when I was starting to consider getting out of the Navy. And at that point, I knew that I was just going to have to use my GI Bill. So looking back and thinking back about that experience, I've learned something from that. I've learned to take advantage of what you have and use it to the fullest. And I did. I used my GI Bill. I was able to get my undergraduate degree. I've also gotten my MBA, and hopefully, if you will accept me, I will also have an executive MHA as well. So thank you for taking the time to look at my video, and have a good day.